Hello, Cancer. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. All right, Cancer, you don't have any bad cards showing up here at all. I think that everything is fine. I just think that this is like a gentle reminder that you need to stop worrying about the future so damn much. So natural, authentic, real, and organic, and then here and now. Here and now is talking about how your power is in the present moment. We all know this, right? You can't change the past, and we can focus on the future, but it's not happening yet. But we change our future by making the most of the moments that we have right now. I think that a lot of you may be too focused on material things, though, to looking at natural. So that one is basically saying that those things do not define who you really are, right? Your bank account, your job, the things that you have, the way that you look, none of that shit is who you really are, right? So I think that you need to spend more time being more authentic, being real with yourself and with others. And again, making the most of the moments that you have now and understanding that your power is in the present moment to change things in the future. But I think that you may be too focused in what's going to happen later, especially, in the material sense. But like I said, everything is fine, right? So from Moonology, you pulled the new moon in Sagittarius. Luck is on your side. Now, this one is saying that you need to count your blessings, literally. Write them down or say them out loud. It says you need to laugh more. This is a wonderful time to start a course of study or teaching. Don't be narrow-minded and start a week of gratitude practice. So being more grateful for the things that you have. All right, Cancer. Here's your overall. Oh boy, the Lovers. All right. So we could be talking about a relationship here, a marriage, major choices that you're making in your life, what you love, what you put value in. But we'll see here. But I feel good. Like I don't feel anything bad about it at all. Now, in the past, the Queen of Cups. Now, if we're talking about you with the Queen of Cups as the past, this could be about, first of all, the emotional investment, right? But this could also be you doing some healing emotionally, being more in tune with your own emotions, not so much needing to control them, but this could be because of a relationship or a person that you're dealing with here. But I like the Queen of Cups as the past. I feel like you understanding why you feel the way that you do about your partner, about your relationship. And by doing that, you're becoming more invested. Now, in the present, Justice. Okay, so if there was a need here to do some healing for yourself within a relationship, Justice is saying that, somebody may be making amends, wanting to make things right with you. Definitely there's, the love there with the Queen of Cups, right? But I don't see justice as a bad thing. I don't think that we're talking about separation or divorce or anything like that. I think it's really about, balance, right? Getting things balanced out in the relationship, making sure that things are equal and fair. I don't necessarily see it as a bad thing, but this is a major thing for you. And it's also about a major choice that you're making here with the Lovers. I think that some of you are deciding to strengthen your relationship here. It's like you're deciding to stay committed to it almost, but you're not doing it because you think it's the right thing to do. You're doing it because you're coming from a better place, I think. Oh yeah. Okay. So the Page of Wands. Yeah. I would say that for a lot of you, relationships are going to be going in a really good direction. Now, for some of you, this could literally be somebody here who is communicating to you, wanting to make things right. Somebody who is deciding that, being involved with you or you, them is the right thing to do here. And with the Page of Wands, you're talking about exciting communication, passion, taking a new path in this relationship, the road less traveled. But all of it looks really good. Now, for some of you, you may have decided that staying with this relationship was the best thing to do. That may be because of a child involved, which is possible with the Page of Wands, but I don't know. And I'm only getting that for some of you. I don't think that, you're staying in a bad relationship by any means, but I think that there's been a lot of consideration as to how to balance things out in a relationship. I don't necessarily feel like justice is somebody getting their ass handed to them, but we'll find out here. Okay, yeah, and this is what I'm talking about. I think that some of you are doing like this back and forth with yourself about whether or not this was the right choice to make here. But I don't think that you're doing it because you think it's the right thing to do. I think you're doing it because you feel like it's the right thing for you, right? Now, there may be other people involved here. There could be a child involved, right? We're needing to think about what is fair for, the little ones involved, which can be the case. But I don't know. I see this more so as with the Two of Swords, you may have had difficulty at some point here in, making a choice on what to do about a relationship or a major choice in your life. But you're coming from a place of, like I said, being more in tune with the way that you feel, So I think that, this is you understanding, your own personal truth here with the Two of Swords. So I don't necessarily feel like you're still in this place of, I'm not sure what to do because of justice being there. But then, I'm looking at the blindfolds and I'm thinking, what is it that you're looking past? Can you look past flaws? Can you look past mistakes? Especially if, there are things being corrected with justice, But I think that the Two of Swords is saying that you can't go back to that. You can't go back to this place where you're second guessing on whether or not you did the right thing. Wow, man. In your environment, the Magician. Damn. Yeah. So with the Magician, this is going to be about you feeling like you have the ability to make what you want happen in this situation with this relationship. But it's really about you making the choice to do this. It wasn't easy. It wasn't an easy choice. At some point, you may not have known what was going to happen. But I think that, the right thing to do here is, to forgive. Like, that's what I'm getting from justice. Like, we need to forgive the mistakes of the past. Especially if somebody is coming to you and saying, I realize now how I feel. That or this may be about you doing this, right? But there is emotional investment with the Queen of Cups. We are invested in this. But it is about being more in tune with the way that you feel. And if you feel like you can make something happen out of this situation, then this may be saying that you're looking past something. You may be looking past something that may have happened that puts you in a place of, I'm not sure if I made the right choice. But the thing is you can't go back to thinking that way, because in the present moment, you're already saying, I'm choosing to look past a situation and I want to have the situation balanced out. And the only way to do that is to try to make something happen here. And I don't think that this is about manipulation or somebody trying to manipulate you into thinking that, they're trying to do the right thing here. Because I'm not really seeing anything bad. I just think more so this is about you, Cancer, looking past something someone did. But we can make something happen here. Oh yeah, your hopes and your fears, the Four of Wands. And I think that a lot of you, this may be like getting back together with somebody here, You may be like strengthening a relationship. For some of you, it's, getting back to a place where you feel like there is the stability within the relationship with the Four of Wands, right? Hoping that you're going to have some time to be able to enjoy your life together as far as a relationship. Now, for those of you who are just making a major choice here, it's like you're blinding yourself to what the other option was, looking at the Two of Swords, right? Like, this was the right thing for me to do. I'm emotionally invested in it and I know how I feel, so I'm making this choice, but you can't go back on it, right? Like, you can't go back to this place where you're like, well, did I make the right choice? No. Because you're following this and it's something new, right? And the Four of Wands would be like, well, if you feel like you have the capability here, then the hope is that you're going to get to this place where you get to celebrate an accomplishment. But I think that for a lot of you, this is going to have to do with a relationship. And somebody may be looking to correct something, but you're going to be asked to kind of like look past something that happened, right? We can't bring that back up, and that may have to do with somebody being emotionally conflicted though too. And then coming out strength, right? Having the strength to continue this path, this new path in this relationship. And it has to be brand new. It can't be the path that you've already been down with the Page of Wands here, right? All of this looks really good other than that Two of Swords, and the only difficult choice that I see you having to make here is you can't bring up things from the past. Those things are things that you need to let go of it. Let go of it, right? Because it wouldn't be fair, especially if somebody is trying to make amends here and you think that you have the ability to make something happen, because really what you're wanting is to be in a place where you're stable, but you're needing to find strength here to follow this. And then the World, that situation is over, right? We need to get closure on that's over and it's done with. This is a brand new path. You're going to have to find the strength to let go of what happened here. Now, with the Five of Swords being the past, when we're talking about somebody who is emotionally conflicted, they may have been purposely causing arguments with you, which can be the case. Now, normally the Five of Swords is going to show somebody who's willing to do whatever it takes to get what they want, even if that means hurting other people or alienating other people. This is somebody who acts like they're better than everybody else. But I think that this is directly related to arguments that you've had because somebody may have been emotionally conflicted. And this is where things are needing to be corrected, but you can't go back and look at it and bring it back up and go, well, I don't know if I made the right choice here. Because with the Two of Pentacles, right, we're trying to figure it out, and I don't think that it's about you bending over backwards for anybody here. I think it is about you needing to be a little bit more flexible. We can work on things because justice is big. Somebody is really trying to correct something here. And as far as like being more in tune with your emotions or, the person that you're dealing with feeling this way, they are really coming from a place of they're wanting to start something new here, right? They have the ability to make that happen. And here is where, the new path kind of comes in here, right? And having the passion to follow it. You can't look back on it and go, I didn't make the right choice. You have to let it go. Whatever it is that you're needing to look past that has to do with that Five of Swords. And like I said, this could be the arguments over somebody like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I want to be with you. I don't know if I want to be with somebody else, that type of thing. Now, with the World again, right? This chapter is over with, but in a way where you feel good about moving on. And you have the Magician sitting right there in your environment. With the Page of Wands, right? We don't need to be forceful about anything. We don't need to force anything to happen here with strength. But I think it's more about you needing to find the inner courage to take this path in this relationship or this choice that you're making and not think about, what caused contention and disagreements in the past. Because, man, the Five of Swords would suggest that things got ugly at some point, and it could definitely be because with the Two of Pentacles, somebody who couldn't figure out what they wanted, but if this is the choice that you're making, like I said, you can't go back on it, right? Can't bring up the past. We can't be bringing that stuff back up. We need to make the most of the moments that you have now, right? Don't worry about the future. But what do you really want though? Don't make this choice because you feel like you have to. Do it because it's what you want to do. I mean, and with the Four of Wands, this would suggest that you're going to get to a place where things are really good. You're building your life together here. There's an accomplishment being made. And it's worth celebrating. Things may not be perfectly balanced for you. And that may be where you're needing to look away and not, go back to this place of, fighting over how somebody felt. And tranquility. When you reconnect with spirit and you reconnect with your own soul, you're going to understand what the purpose is of this situation. You're going to understand what your purpose is, and you're going to lead into tranquility, right? all of this looks really good, but you need to reconnect with who you really are, right? Going back to natural. What was the purpose of going through all of this if you're just going to say, well, maybe I didn't make the right choice, right? Can you find peace? Can you find that tranquility when you understand what your new purpose is here with this situation? Focus on love. Look for the good attributes in each and every person in your life, right? There's good in this person. There is. You can't focus on the shit that they may have done wrong in the past, right? Not if you're choosing to have them be a part of your life now. And choose love. You always have a choice as to what you should do. Geez, Cancer. Wow. And again, right? Like you can't bring up things from the past. You can't do it. Even if, like I said, even if this person had a hard time in the past making a choice between you and another person, they are choosing you now. And that is what's important, right? Can you follow this path with enthusiasm? Do you still have passion? Do you still have excitement for this? Can you see things being different in the future, right? But choose love, right? Choose the love that's being given to you now and focus on the better attributes of this person. Don't go back to the past and think, maybe this isn't something I can look past, because justice is saying that you made the choice to do that, right? And something new can happen.